constituency affairs. Now, I heard a particular personality on another radio show just before I came in, and this particular is Thompson. He said he's a PLP, and a real PLP. And the thing is that he was talking about the party itself and problems that the party has and how it is helping or not helping its members. And of course, you will have people who are dissatisfied over any number of things. That's understandable. But when you look at what people are doing as parliamentary representatives, I think we don't have it right yet. You can be a member of a political party. There's nothing wrong with that because the Constitution allows for political parties. And I tell people this all the time. What you have to look at is the quality of the people you send to do your national affairs. The quality of people you send to be representatives in the House of Assembly, those appointed to the Senate, and so on. If you just put any and everybody because you like this one and they don't have your interest at heart, you know, a lot of them like to tell you they have your interest at heart, but just watch their behavior. Listen to what they say. Watch their behavior. And the way they behave and conduct themselves will give you a clear understanding as to who they really are. Remember, I gave you an example on July the 8th. And I said, give Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson 18 months to solve one major constituency problem in your particular constituency. We could get that done in 18 months. You don't need any more time than that. You want to get the overwhelming majority of the people in a given constituency to concentrate on one particular issue that is hurting them, messing them up right now, and they combine their strengths and their power together, as Article 24.1 tells you, to do what? To protect your interests. Now, the word interest in the Article 24.1 is plural. But basically what people have done for 51 years plus is they've sat back and they gave their interests over to some other people to look after their interests, to protect their interests. And that's the mistake the Bahamian people has made for more than 51 years. You didn't check up on the people who you gave the authority to run your national affairs and your constituency affairs. Let me give you a scriptural quote, Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Look at your constituency right now and tell me whether you have people rejoicing in there. Are they happy? Are they glad? Are their problems being solved? Are they living a prosperous life? Or do you see some other things happening? See, that is the test. The test of a representative is what? Article 52.1. Parliament may pass laws, and the Constitution is very specific. 3 basic points. Parliament may pass laws for the peace, that's 1. Order, that's 2. Good government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now, that's supposed to be in every single law that's been passed in Parliament. Parliament consists of Her Majesty the Queen, a Senate, a House of Assembly. Do you have peace, order, good government in your particular constituency? Yes or no? Do you have laws that have been passed to bring about the peace, order, good government? Where's the peace in Bayingtown? Where is the peace in Fox Hill? Where is the peace in Yellow Elder? I think they got a different name for Yellow Elder now. Where is the peace on the island of New Providence? Where is the peace on the island of Grand Bahama? Where is the peace in North, well, let's say Abaco? You got North Abaco and South Abaco. Where is it, Bahamians? You know what peace means? Quietness. People are helpful to each other. The environment is friendly and wonderful to live in. Do you have that? Or do you have people there making confusion? Where is God in our matters? National issues, constituency issues. Because the Constitution says three specific things. Article 52.1. Have you been benefiting? Where is the peace in your constituency? And not one of you have been able to answer the real question that I've been asking you at the constituency level and at the national level. Not one living soul since I put it out, even before July the 8th. And yet I hear people talking all kind of crappy things. But Bahamians, if you do not have a representative that is working to solve the problems that exist in your constituency, you don't have any parliamentary representation. You have none. You may have a party personality sitting in a representative seat. That's what you get. And a person who gives you a bag of candy or some chicken or some rice or one school bag or some things for the children to go to school, that's not parliamentary representation. The Constitution says, Article 52.1, Parliament may. Well, that's what your representative is supposed to be doing. Where is the peace in your constituency? Do you see it? Is it relevant in your constituency? Where is the order? We've been having all kinds of murders around this place. All kind of violence, all kind of rapes, all kind of robberies in these particular constituencies, left, right, and center. Crime raging in our country across constituency boundaries. Where's the order, Bahamians? Things ought to be done decently and in order. Where is the order in Fox Hill? Having all kind of shootouts in Fox Hill. Is it safe in Fox Hill? Is it safe in Bain and Grantstown? Is it safe in Centerville? Where's your protection, Bahamians? Where is it? Good government. What is good government? The cabinet has what? Overall direction and control of the government of the Bahamas. There's a difference between the cabinet of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and the hierarchy in a particular political body. You people get the thing all mixed up. How you all get like this? 51 years has passed and some of you still talking foolishness. We're in year 52. You know, one fella say he's 52. I ain't talking about him. But Bahamians, you got to learn sense, man. You got to know your Constitution. And you got people on the radio and writing in the newspapers and on Facebook and all kind of things out there that they're using to spread misinformation. Where is the peace? Where is the order? Where is the good government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas? In your particular constituency, is your representative doing it, yes or no? I'm not interested in whether you like the particular personality. I'm not interested in that. I don't care how smart the particular personality appears to be. That means nothing. Are your constituency problems being solved? Yes or no? And I've asked you, you've been living in the constituency for the last 51 years, and not one of you could tell me any major constituency problem that has been solved in that particular constituency. And here are the clear-cut benefits that come to the Bahamian people, or let's say the residents in that particular constituency. You know, some are residents in Bahamian, so they're the people of the constituency. Now remember now, only genuine citizens can participate in the parliamentary democracy. Let's get that straight. But you need to answer that today, Bahamians. I've been asking that, and not one of you could tell me any major constituency problem or constituency problems that have been solved over the last 51 years, and you've been living right there all that time. A lot of you around here talking foolishness and nonsense about representation. Where is the representation? When I check the Constitution, I see something different. So what laws have been passed where there is peace, order, good government in your particular constituency? That's at the constituency level. What major constituency problems, because you have been grumbling and complaining and grumbling and complaining for the last 51 years and you ain't got nothing straight yet. When it takes the collective will of a people to make it happen. But you need righteous people now. Don't forget that. You need a righteous team to run it. Because the scripture says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Ain't no rejoicing if there ain't no righteous people in authority. I can tell you that right off the top. You can talk as much crap as you want. Ain't gonna be no rejoicing. All you got is people shedding tears. You see how many murders have been occurring in this place? How many young men we've lost? In fact, they got an international report. I got to get my people on that right away. About murders in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And how we are ranked in this particular part of the community, in this part of the Western Hemisphere. The Bahamas is leading in too many things that are negative. And when you listen to those who are supposed to be running things, you get a totally different picture from what the international people are saying. So how come we have a picture like that? The point is, Bahamians, we live here. We ought to know what's going on in our country. We ought to know whether those persons who are writing about us in these international reports, these respected institutions that make these reports, we got to take this seriously. Now, if they're lying on us, we could find that out too. But we just can't sit back and allow them to write things on us that may not necessarily be true, but we have to check the evidence and we have to examine everything carefully to see whether it is true or false. Same thing with these local fellas around here. When these national leaders say some things, is it true or is it false? Now, Bahamians, I go in for what is true. Because I want to give you accurate and precise information that you can make a sound decision and a good judgment on. That's why I got to work with the Constitution and the Holy Bible. You don't go wrong with the Holy Bible and the Constitution. God helps you. You want a righteous representative? For your constituency, you can get one, because one is available. God says so. Check Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, what happens? The people rejoice. Now you ask yourself, if you're rejoicing in your particular constituency right now with the burdensome problems you are being confronted with, and all you have been getting is problem after problem after problem after problem. Someone was talking about the people in West End and Bimini. how even you could see it on their bodies where they're so stressed out. Same thing on the island of New Providence. We haven't heard of any deportations of strangers, foreigners, aliens, and outsiders. We haven't. But we know some people on the high seas rounding up people and sending them somewhere. Are they landing them on our islands in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, unknown to our leaders here? Because they ought to know. The reports are out there, Bahamians. We're going to dig into those reports. We just can't look at it on the surface. We got to dig deep, Bahamians. If you want a righteous representative in your constituency, you got to dig deep in your constituency. You mean to tell me you can't find one person that is a fit and proper person living among you to become your next representative? Because I hear some people going through the same crap over and over and over again. Persons you have already proven who they are. You want more crap from them? You want more foolishness from them? And you keep complaining about victimization? You want to constantly be victimized? Now, these are reports that are coming across my desk. People say they're getting victimized. I ain't checking for no victimization. I'm trusting in the Lord. I'm going to be one of those who will stand up for what is right, what is just, what is fair. Now, you're going to have some people who would disagree with you. That's fine, no problem. I've been hearing all kinds of points of view from different people. But I'm prepared to listen if they have a point of view. And the only question I can ask when they're done finish, is it constitutionally sound, yes or no? If it ain't constitutionally sound, in the garbage it goes. That's the end of that. No further discussion. You don't need to waste time with people who are not constitutionally sound, Bahamians. We've done it for 51 years. Just wasting time. You know how many people have lived and died hoping for a better day and did not see it? They had confidence in some people who they trusted, they relied upon, they depended upon. Nothing happened. They were disappointed. And Bahamians, you know how you feel when someone you trusted disappoints you. And they never come and say, you know, I made a mistake. Have you ever seen that happen? Any representative or any person in a position of responsibility told you publicly that they made some serious, dangerous mistakes when they were in power? Have you heard any of them say that to you? Have any of them repented of the wrongs they have done against the Bahamian people? Or you thought they were perfect, eh? No human being is perfect. They have strengths and they have weaknesses. And unfortunately, the weaknesses take over most of our people. The hardest thing for a human being to do is to admit when he or she is wrong. Repent of it, change, and do better. And a lot of us have not done that in more than 51 years. They went to their grave and they didn't do it. Some are still living now and never will do it. I've spoken to a couple of them, you know. And they're not prepared to admit that they were wrong. And they continue in the crap and support foolishness and nonsense that they did when they were in power. They're now on the sidelines. And they're eating all kind of steak and turkey and all kind of things like that. But Bahamians, this doesn't make any sense. We need solutions to our problems, and we can get those solutions. I think we got a call on the line. Call you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Professor,
What's that I hear you telling them other people, man?
what you mean?
What's that
I
I
was
hear you
making sense,
saying?
right?
No, I don't think you were making any sense.
No, I
No, I
wasn't
listen. No, I listen to you very carefully. I'm
I
not
wasn't making
saying
sense, Professor.
I'm not saying you shouldn't express your view, but those views that you expressed didn't make any sense because there's no backing for it. If I were to challenge you right now and ask you for the backing of those views, you couldn't show me anything.
Well, if you ask me the best of my ability, I would tell you.
No, well, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. But I've been asking the question, and people are not answering the questions. Constituency issues. I don't want to hear nothing about you like this one and you like that one. I'm not interested in that. Or what kind of qualifications the fella got. That doesn't mean anything to me. What major constituency problems have been solved in your constituency? That's what I want to find out. And here are the clear cut benefits that come to the people of that particular constituency as a result of these major constituency problems having been solved. You can't come up with an answer to that, and the representative isn't doing that. What the heck are we doing? That's what I want the people to answer, because all they're doing is grumbling and complaining for the last 51 plus years. And they have the power in their hand to do something about it. Article 24.1, Article 2, Article 52.1. You want me to quote some more? But I'll do it. Because it's been there for 51 years plus. And we have not acted on these things, Bahamians. We've listened to people writing crap on pieces of paper and talking foolishness and nonsense. But those things you mentioned, I listened to you carefully on the other station. And I'm not saying you shouldn't express your views, so don't think I'm trying to knock you for that. But the views expressed, are they constitutionally sound, yes or no? And you know how I go when it comes to the Constitution. If it ain't constitutionally sound, out in the garbage it goes. Down the toilet it's flush. Because it makes no sense. The people out there are catching hell. They're catching more hell now than ever before. Let me let you talk. Go ahead. Caller, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, go ahead. I should not have probably come on like that. I apologize if I offended you.
No.
But I listened to you.
Yourself, but like I said,
yeah.
Some people catch hell in many different ways. They catch hell from government. Some catch hell because of their stupidity and stuff like that.
What is the purpose of the government? Could you tell that to the Bahamian people right now? What is the purpose of a government?
Well, they've been telling us every time in election what they are going to do. Now we hear that Mr. Penta said the other day, if you give him a chance, he can reduce crime.
Penta has had his chance,
and he had a time. He been there, and ain't nothing happened. But it's just that, like you just said just now, they all come with this sweet milk running down from their lips.
Yes.
And they can sell it to a whole bunch of people.
I am trying to get the Bahamian people to follow the Constitution and the Holy Bible. And stop following after people writing crap on pieces of paper and talking about what they're going to do when they get in. You could know ahead of time exactly who they are. If you want to find a righteous representative for your constituency, you're going to have to dig very deep into the ground to find that gold, Bahamians. That ain't on top of the surface where you could just grab it and say, I got the gold now. No. You got to dig deep through 51 years of crap that we have gone through, which has sunk into the psyche of the Bahamian people.
Well, I will say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
You just say if you want to find a righteous point, you got to really deep.
Very deep. And I can deal with that today because my guess ain't show up yet.
But like I told you yesterday,
yes.
When you look at 2 Chronicles,
7:14?
The 26th chapter.
Oh, the 26th chapter, okay.
And the 5th voice, it said that King Uzziah was king of the age of 16.
Yes, yes.
And the reason why he won so many battles is because the Bible said God was with him.
Right.
You see, God was with him, and he fought and won all those battles and stuff like that.
Yes.
But when you read down in the 16th verse, he lifted up himself in pride.
Yeah, you did mention that. Yeah.
So what we see today, we see the same thing. Sometimes these men may have good intention, but sometimes pride get into them, and they become, in the same beating their chest, it's me.
Could you show
what did Dr. Minnis say? Dr. Minnis, going back to him, he said when he get in, what he's going to do, he can pop the neck. He can do this and the next thing. But when he time again to run, he said, you know something? Wait a minute. I can take care of the poor the next time. So what was he doing all that time?
All that time, yes.
Huh?
Good question.
What was he doing all that time? Mr. Pendas said he can reduce the crime. But what was he doing all that time sitting down?
He was big thing in the F&M government.
He could have made some noise if he didn't like the way the captain at that time was steering the ship. He had a right to come off the ship.
That's right.
And the people would applaud him for it. And the people would say, yeah, this man mean business. But he sat right there, collecting the big fat check, the caviar, the Spanish wine, and nothing to be said.
Carl, I'm going to have to let you go on hold because I hear the music in the background and my producer is telling me I need to shut up. So, Carl, I want you to stay on the line.
Okay.
I want to talk with you some more. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. Bahamians, what is it that is happening in your constituency? You need to look at these issues and ask yourself what major constituency problems have been solved over the last 51 years? And what are the clear-cut benefits that come to you today as a result of these major constituency problems having been solved? That's how you test a representative. Anything short of that, you're talking foolishness and nonsense. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
Fall is here, and so are the incredible advertising deals at Global 99.5 FM. Whether you're launching a new product, promoting holiday sales, or just want to get your brand out there, we've got you covered with unbeatable rates this season. Reach thousands of potential customers and boost your business before the holidays hit. Call 326-0271 or just email sales@globalradio995fm.com to learn more about our fall advertising promotions. Global 99.5 FM, reaching customers wherever they are for your success.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island, a November to remember sale, starting at $150 per night plus taxes and fees. For a single or double occupancy, receive a fourth night free with 3 paid nights. Limited inventory available and blackout date supply. Advance booking is required. We're offering free food and beverage credit up to $50 based on your length of stay. Redeemable at our Crusoe's restaurant and Splash Pool bar. VAT and gratuity is not included. All guests of Comfort Suites enjoy complimentary use of Atlantis, including Aquaventure Water Park, daily complimentary full American buffet breakfast, free Wi-Fi, free parking, kids 11 and under stay free in the room with a parent and eat free at Crusoe's restaurant with each paying adult. Call us today at 605-6300 or 363-3680 or WhatsApp us at 55-SUITE, that's 557-8483, or for valid through November 18th, 2024. Comfort Suites Paradise Island, offering comforting days and sweet nights.
This Thanksgiving, let McKinsey's Restaurant at Porter's Key Dock do the cooking for you. Bring the family down and enjoy a mouth-watering Thanksgiving feast with all the trimmings, glazed ham, roasted turkey, seafood stuffing, and your choice of classic Bahamian sides, from peas and rice or conch rice to coleslaw, macaroni, and more. Or check out our regular menu serving fish, conch, shrimp, or lobster. And don't forget dessert. Choose from pumpkin pie, pumpkin roll, red velvet, or chocolate cake. or one of our tropical or regular conch salads to complete your meal. Come, celebrate Thanksgiving with us at McKinsey's Restaurant, Porter's Key Dock. Great food, warm hospitality, and memories to last a lifetime. Happy Thanksgiving from McKinsey's.
Janae's Christmas Wonderland is open under the Big Tent. Get 20 to 50% off selected Christmas decorations. Restrictions apply. Trees in pink, frosted green or white in a variety of sizes. LED and laser lights, a large variety of tree ornaments, lighted angels, Santa tree toppers, bright and lively colored Christmas balls, garlands, wreaths, red and white stringed cranberry, tree skirts, stockings, and lots more. Add flowers, picks, and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Janae's Chesapeake Road. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Janae's Limited. WhatsApp 817-3295.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
If you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rentokil Initial. We have over 60 years of experience in the Bahamas. As a part of a global brand, our training and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty on termite fumigation with the best payment terms in the Bahamas. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name you can call on, Rentokil Initial. Call us at 322-2157.
From South Beach to Bay Street.
I'm pleased, I really dig your company.
It's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Express Yourself on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. This is a great day to be in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I don't want to be in them other people's place where they're doing foolishness and nonsense. We got enough of that crap over here now, but we can get rid of that. And let me say to the Facebook viewer, the thing is that the lines are open, 326-0271, 326-0272, 813-0271, and of course you have Cable Bahamas 974, and you have the YouTube channels for Global Radio. I think some others, I got to remember them. And I'll just say it. I got this part in my head now. I just got to get the other part in. Because I want to give you all the areas where you can get the show and listen to it. And then after the show is over, you could even follow up on it even after then. But let me say this. The lines are open. And here's a particular personality commenting about the fact that this particular caller who is on the line now is on the line, he calls in. I can't tell him he can't call in. That's against his constitutional rights, freedoms, and privileges. And he's not doing anything that's untoward. He isn't violating any constitutional laws, but the Constitution allows him to express himself. Now, it didn't say everything has to be right, When people call into the show, they could be so misinformed, and their views that they express is based on the misinformation that they would have gotten. I can't fault them for that. It is my duty to correct them once they're not constitutionally sound. I have to deal with that, Bahamians. I can't let that just slide like that. No, sir. That's why I say to you, when you hear people talking these different things, you need to examine it in the light of the supreme law of this country, which is the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And we're asking you to become defendants of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We can have a setup for that. I mean, 150,000, not less than 150,000 or more. Because Bahamas just got to go until the man come back, until Christ returns. We're going to need to keep this Constitution in place. You know why? Because there are some people who are working so hard right now, and they want you to forget about that. They don't mind Professor Thompson. I don't hear him talking about the Constitution. Let's write these things on scraps of paper, and we'll work with that. You haven't known of any entity. Check the last 51 years and see all the things that have been written where people say they want to run this place. See if there's any evidence, maybe the exception of one entity, where the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas is prominent in their program. Now, that's the homework I can give you to do. Because, see, I've been through that. I've seen the evidence. Now, I want you to go and check it for yourself. We have a call on the line. Caller, go ahead, please.
Hello, Professor.
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Okay. Let me go. Before sunset this afternoon, point to me one person, whether it be two persons, whether it be a woman or a man, who you see have the quality of leadership to run this country, who you see before sunset this afternoon. Or you could tell me that now, because I know you may not have somebody in your mind. You told me you got a deep for that righteous person.
Oh, yes. Oh,
but
yes,
show
indeed.
me, tell me somebody, really, tell the nation who you see have the quality, woman or man, that is able to run this country.
That is a very challenging question. I appreciate the question.
That's what I want you to tell me. And I can sit right by the radio and listen to see what you're going to say.
Okay, all right. I will. I'll take up the challenge.
Okay.
But boy, you pressed me in so tight before sunset today. I might need a little bit more leg room, but I will wait to answer that question because I want to be honest and truthful with the Bahamian people. We can find righteous people to run our national affairs. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Because God says when the righteous are in authority, Bahamians, you've got to... See, that's when I asked you for that 18 months. You thought I was joking, eh? You can solve one major constituency problem in 18 months. You need no 51 years to do that. But you have to get the people themselves. Article 24(1). See, I stick rigidly with the Constitution. I don't play games. Article 52(1), Article 2, Article 1. And some others I could quote. Bahamians, you've got to learn to understand we're in serious trouble as a nation. This has been building up for more than 51 years. And as I sit here today, I think today is the 20th, 2 months before Donald Trump is sworn in as the President of the United States, 2 months. And then he got 4 years to run his country. Bahamians, we cannot wait on somebody else to solve our problems. We got to trust God. We got to go by the Holy Bible and the Constitution. And he asked a very good question, if there's anyone that I see, and I'm going to answer that question. But I want to be objective. I want to be honest. I want to be truthful with you. Because we need hope in this country. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please. Caller, you there? Mr. Bruce, I don't know if the caller is still there. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Professor, you're a little low. I hardly could hear.
Oh, well, you're coming in strong. Mr. Bruce, you couldn't hear
me.
I'm
going to start all over then. Good afternoon, Professor. And good afternoon, the Bahamas. Good afternoon, the guests, if you have any idea. Yeah. Professor, we could start right here. I know we got these speakers. The man say, if you don't fight with this country, you don't deserve it. Professor, listen to me. We could start right away.
Well, now, hold on, caller. Hold on. See, I hear a lot of people use that quote from that particular personality. Yeah. That's a personal view. That is not constitutionally sound.
No, it's not a constitution. That's true.
So let's get that straight. Now, I am not going to fault the particular personality for expressing that point of view. But that's why I hear people talk about that all the time. That's the only thing they could remember this particular personality said. When that particular personality made some very interesting, progressive statements for the good of this country, And the only thing, I keep hearing them say that all the time. But why?
Yeah, but Professor, I got a whole heap. I got the book. But Professor,
Oh,
man,
okay.
that's the
You got the book.
I got all the books, Professor. That's the shortest version I can use.
Oh, okay.
But I got the majority rule. I got everything, but Professor, I can't bring all the big long thing on the radio.
No, but what I'm saying is that particular statement that you made has been repeated so often by different people. You never hear me repeat that on the show because I'm not going into that.
Okay, I bet you.
No, but what I'm saying is that particular personality has a right to that particular view. And that view is not constitutionally sound.
No, that ain't constitution. But
yeah, you see, that's why I'm saying one has to be very careful. See, even though a personality may express a view, is the view constitutionally sound? Yes or no?
It's not.
God gave us this country.
It's not.
He gave it to us for a specific purpose.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead then.
And Professor, and I gotta tell you, I gotta thank you because you bring out the Constitution. Ain't nobody gonna do us nothing. We ain't saying nothing with nobody. We talking the Constitution.
Oh yes. That's your protection.
Everybody's behind you. You ain't gonna say nothing to hurt nobody's feeling. You ain't gonna say nothing to get sued. We talking Constitution for the country. Listen here. I hear the Honorable Prime Minister say he bringing back the National Intelligence Branch. You know what we protect this country? We need to see if all them foolishness they run with in the Senate, they need to see if the National Intelligence Branch get their separate money by themselves and give them a constitution and give them original King James Bible, original King James. And listen here, you believe they could protect this country from that? Because I got Exodus chapter 14. God said, listen, your enemy could be my enemy. Man, you know what that means? I even know, as a man doing little things on the side, I don't even share that chapter. I think that scripture is mine. I hide it. Your enemy could be my enemy. So when people make enemy with you, you make enemy with God.
That's correct.
I take it and hide it. That's I go on that one.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Carla, for your views. But, you know, I have to get people to understand that particular expression by that particular personality, it might have been said, perhaps the particular personality was under stress at the time. And you got to understand the times in which the particular individual lived and perhaps made a statement. And that particular individual has a right to express that view. So I'm not going to take it any further than that. But I always say, is it constitutionally sound? Yes or no? Because see, Bahamians, all you have to do is analyze these things, you know. God gave us the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We, the inheritors and successors to this family of islands, rocks, and keys. That's what I read in the preamble of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Do we want to protect this place? Article 24:1. Are we interested in being loyal to this place? Are we interested in being faithful to this place? Are we interested in being unified? See, these are the qualities we ought to have as a people. You have to have it individually, yes. But in the constituency, it's the same thing. Are the people unified to deal with the problems that affect them in that particular constituency? I only ask them for one, you know. Let's find a righteous team right in your constituency, because see, righteous people bring results. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Don't you ever forget that, Bahamians. That's why you have to have the knowledge of God and the word of God at the forefront of your business. And God will help you. He'll help you to find a righteous person. But if you are doing it your own way, and you want nothing to do with God and the word of God and the authority of God, well, you're going to get lost. You're going to get jacked right up, as we've been jacked up for 51 years plus. So we have to change that. And the way we change it is you follow the Constitution. You listen to what the Constitution says. You follow instructions in your Constitution because it gives you some specific things about governance in this country. I have to cover quite a lot of it so you could understand. I think we have a caller. My producer is telling me. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Professor.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, I have a couple of points I
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
make.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, I would say, in reference to what the government has done that has benefited the Bahamian people.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the way Prime Minister Pinland set it up would have been national insurance.
Okay.
Now, we don't get the full benefit of national insurance because they haven't run it the way he wanted them to do it.
Okay.
They have now exposed it to everybody, whereas it was set up for the Bahamian people.
That's correct.
That everybody can now pay into it and benefit from it. That would have been something that would have helped the Bahamian people.
Okay.
Now, we have to have a government, right? The country has to have a government. But I can assure you, in the next general election, we're going to have to choose some people to run the country.
Yes, we do.
We're going to choose in the next election persons who haven't governed before, but will govern more closer to our Constitution than we've ever had it before.
I need
Somebody has to run the country.
I need you to.
So we're looking for people. We're looking for people now who are young-minded. They are Christian to a degree, and they'll know it. And we are going to vet them about our Constitution.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we want the country to be run close, and if not all the way to our Constitution.
I think that is a very important statement that you made. Very, very important.
So for the persons who have been there these past 50-something years, they need to sit small and stay on the sidelines because they have had their chance.
Of course they have had.
The Bahamian people are now fed up. We are stressed. We don't see no improvement in our country. If anything, we're going backwards.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
We're gonna vet a different type of people who have love for our country.
Yes.
Who will abide by our Constitution. Now, let's go to this Haiti problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Haiti now, the gang is taking back over. They're shooting at planes that are coming to bring people and pick up people.
Yes, ma'am.
I haven't heard our government say anything, but they have picked up anybody, boats coming towards the Bahamas.
Nothing whatsoever.
If they have deported anybody outside
Not
of the
a
Bahamas.
single report, and we've been discussing that
We
for the
don't
past
hear
several weeks.
anything.
Nothing at all.
They
Yes.
don't report anything. Mr. Professor, beginning with our Prime Minister,
Yes, ma'am.
the Prime Minister don't think he needs to come and report to the Bahamian people. Our MPs who we have put in the House, they don't think they need to report to the Bahamian people. So if they have no voice now, they will have no voices later.
Yes, ma'am.
They could just step on out of our
Yes.
House of Assembly in the
Yes.
next election.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Professor.
Thank you.
Thompson.
Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful comments. Those comments were right on target, and I am going to let the Bahamian people know right now. Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson will work tirelessly to make sure that we have a national government that is going to govern this place according to the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, lock, stock, and barrel. We ain't playing this time around, Bahamians. We've had 51 years, going on 52 years. Some people have had it that long. All I ask you, give me my 18 months. One major constituency problem can be solved in 18 months. And what is the criteria? You need a righteous team in there. Because the scripture says to me, when the righteous are in authority, you in the constituency have to have righteous people to work with that particular problem to get it solved. And then you'll be rejoicing till Christ comes back. Because it has to be so designed that there are clear-cut benefits that come to that constituency as a result of that one major constituency problem having been solved. No ifs, no ands, no buts. That is the challenge I put out to the Bahamian people right now. Because I want to see things happen, Bahamians. I don't want to just come on the radio and just keep complaining all the time. I don't want to do that. I want to report that something is being done in a particular constituency or a series of constituencies by the will of the people in that particular constituency. Article 24:1. The people of the communities have to be constitutionally sound. 51% or more of them have to become righteous in their dealings one with another. You can't be a rebel, a troublemaker in that particular constituency and be a part of the solution. Bahamians, it don't work that way. You can't be cloaking wickedness and corruption and expect things to get well in the constituency. It does not work that way. So let's get that straight. And I gave you the criteria. I made sure I spelled that out as clear as crystal. Because we want to see action, Bahamians. The way we're going right now, it isn't happening. Nowhere. And I challenge anyone to tell me it ain't so. Because Bahamians, you know how many people have lived and died hoping for a better day and never saw it? You see how many of our young men we have lost? In fact, you had a senior police officer say we've lost too many of them. And this was a senior woman police officer who said that. She's like a mother to the children. She has that motherly instinct. We need our men to get their act together. We need the men to step up to the plate, Bahamians. We need some real men on the ground in these particular constituencies to take responsibility, to help those who don't know any better. And I want to be right there among them. But you have to determine what particular problem you want to deal with. Just you pick one. Talk to your people, Bahamians. And you have to agree on which one you are prepared to tackle right here, right now. Because I'm going to tackle with a major national issue. And that is moving along. And we'll be asking you to support that because that's a national issue which will benefit every single Bahamian in this country. Every single one. Even those on the outside who say they're Bahamian. And some of them have done some things. I can speak to that later. Because they think we don't know. That's why you check your constitution. Because some of them are not Bahamians. But I can leave that for another day. I won't go into that today. I can leave that for another day. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson. The lines are wide open, 326-0271, 326-0272. That contribution from that lady is solid and sound, and I'm prepared to support it and back it. We need people who are going to do what is right, what is just, what is fair, and the government must be constitutionally sound. You got to have them in the Parliament too, the House of Assembly and the Senate, and with the Governor General. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
This Thanksgiving, treat yourself to a delicious feast at the Cricket Club. Enjoy our holiday lunch special featuring glazed ham, roasted turkey, seafood stuffing, and a variety of classic sides like peas and rice, crab and rice, coleslaw, mac and cheese, and more. Top it off with your choice of dessert, carrot, chocolate, or cheesecake, all for just $28. Or indulge in our seafood platter with steak and shrimp, mahi-mahi and shrimp, served with your favorite sides and dessert for only $31. Join us at the Cricket Club, located Haynes Oval, West Bay Street. Call 326-4720 to reserve your spot today.
Hey there, are you ready for the holidays? Well, Windermere Day Spa is turning it up to start the season with a fantastic Black Friday sale. They're giving a whopping 20% off all full-price gift card sales, and they are offering delivery. At Windermere Day Spa, you can experience true head-to-toe pampering. You deserve it. Nail and hair care services, soothing facials, exhilarating massages, body wraps and scrubs. Your body is saying, let's do it. This Black Friday, call Windermere Day Spa and purchase your full price gift cards at a whopping 20% off. And remember, they deliver to locations: Cave Village, 321-613-506, or Harbor Bay at 393-8788 or 393-0033.
As we celebrate the season of Thanksgiving, Variety Disposable Products would like to wish you and yours a very blessed Thanksgiving season. Throughout the month of November, Variety Disposable will donate to Hands for Hunger and invite you to do the same. Variety is stocked with all of your essentials, such as food and cake trays, stuffing, seasonings, foil pans, and oval pans for your ham and turkey. Visit Variety Disposable Products located on Faith Avenue and Soldier Road, or call us at 341-9010 or 325-7071.
At Audio Plus, we carry a large selection of DJ and audio products like speakers, mixers, microphones, car audio players, and much more. You can also find a wide selection of musical instruments like marching drums, Junkanoo drums in a wide variety of colors, trumpets, clarinets, trombones, Yamaha keyboards, and Fender guitars at special low prices. Visit Audio Plus on Soldier Road, located in the Caries Plaza. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Phone number 394-6668. Audio Plus, your #1 music store.
Whether you're shopping for Mother's Day, Father's Day, back to school, or any occasion for that matter, you are sure to find exactly what you're looking for at the Brass and Leather Shops. Great products like handbags, wallets, backpacks, luggage, belts, shoes, and more are awaiting you. Brand names at the best quality and reasonable prices. Land, Rioni, Kipling, Guess, Travel Light, Herschel, and more. Shop any of our locations. Downtown Charlotte Street, Mall at Marathon, and also the Luggage Store at Palmdale. Be sure to shop Brass and Leather Shops. You'll be glad you did.
Bohemian shoppers know when times are hard and things are tough, it's more sensible and convenient to shop at YK's Fashion Center. YK's has slashed prices on brand name clothing and shoes by up to 50%, including academics, Clarks, Polo, and hundreds of jeans and dicky pants. And as much as 70% on selected items. Choose from a large selection of beds, sheets, rugs, and towels, all at affordable prices. YK's has 3 locations to serve you: Bahama Avenue, Prince Charles, and East Street South near the Charles Hotel. YK's, where you can afford to look good.
From Cable Beach to Montague, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. I want you to express yourself on the Global Radio Network, just like that lady did. She was quite succinct when she talked about who we need to run this country, and to the caller who asked me if I saw any particular personality who I think could run the country. Let me just say this, let me take this caller first, and then I'm going to go into it. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Good afternoon, Brother
Hey,
Thompson.
hi, how are you? How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, sir. Brother Thompson, like I told you the other day, I think it was Friday, but I mean, you know, we like a younger generation, I would appreciate it, Brother Thompson, if you would educate us on the times that I was unable to see. You know what I mean? Like, see, a person like you, Brother Thompson, an older person, you have experience that we did not experience. You know what I mean? I would love to hear about the Bahamas prior to independence, prior to majority rule. I would love to hear about how you felt as a child growing up. You know what I mean? I would love to hear about those type things, Brother Thompson, because, I mean, to be honest with you, Brother Thompson, you know how the Bible talk about lack of knowledge and information increase, right? Because you can't tell me, Brother Thompson, like as a younger person, you know what I mean? You have to admit that the younger generation have had a chance, and we're not like holding it against you or like you know what I mean, thinking we better or whatever, right? But the reality is that the younger generation have had knowledge, like we have had the education. We have been more educated than the people who came before us, right? So we don't want the people who came before us, right, who way older than us, to be telling us what's wrong in this time now. You know, we want them to listen to us. You know what I mean? That's why, Brother Thompson, you can benefit us by telling us about the time that we could not have experienced, that you have that, Brother Thompson. You have that knowledge. You could write a book. You could tell us exactly what the atmosphere of the Bahamas was prior to independence, Brother Thompson, because, see, that mentality that you had prior to independence is what you need to have in this day and time, Brother Thompson, because the same enemy who was your enemy before independence is the enemy now, but we don't talk about him. All right? And I'm going to leave with this, statement right here, Brother Thompson. When you say God give a people a place, Brother Thompson, only the people who are indigenous to that place could say God give it to them. Like the Native Americans in America, they could say God give them that because they are indigenous to that place. Like black man to Africa, we could say God give us that because we are indigenous to that place. Now, I don't know if you saw a clip that's circulating about the New Zealand Parliament where the Maori people had this, where they did a little cultural expression of their culture in the House of Parliament because they disagreed with the people them trying to like limit their rights. See, Brother Thompson, like I said before, we need to talk about things like they are. Because if we could say things in this Bahamas about God give us this country, that's a lie. That's a lie, Brother Thompson. The white.
How do you know it's a lie?
How do I know it's a lie, Brother Thompson? Because if God come right now, God would charge us for being receivers of stolen property. You know the expression? When someone steals something and give it to somebody else.
Hold on. Stop right there. What do you mean? What you say that it's a lie? That's one.
Yes,
and
sir.
Then we are receivers of stolen property. What do you mean?
Yes, sir. Christopher Columbus and his people stole this land from the Arawak people. Because, you know, we like to tell it, that's why we don't celebrate him no more, because we say he didn't discover nothing. You understand? Now, Christopher Columbus came over here and he met some people here and he took the land from them, right? And now we have it. So if God come, God will say, look here, but y'all are receivers of stolen property. Because when you see them Cuban people and them Indian people and them other people in this region, if they were to come back here and say, give us our land and we won't fight them for it, we'll be wrong for that, because this is theirs by God, Brother Thompson. Africa is ours. And when we say Bahamians suffering in this country, let us be specific. We have white Bahamians, we have Chinese Bahamians, so let's say black Bahamians suffering in the country. Let's say that. Let us be specific, so that way we'll always be mindful of the reality that we're living in. Brother Thompson, please, man, let us state reality and let us stop like telling history with this revision, because we'll never get like no solutions if we keep living in this fantasy.
The Constitution.
You understand where I come from, Brother Thompson?
I'm listening to you.
Yes, sir. So like I say, Brother Thompson, I would love to hear, because, see, I'm troubled because the other day when I tried to call you and talk about African stuff, you don't want to talk about that. But before majority rule, when you were a younger boy, I bet you was black conscious then. I bet you was conscious of black people then. I bet you the type of talk that I would want to talk about African people, it was welcome back then when Martin Luther King Jr. and Marcus Garvey and all those folks came over here. I bet you I would have been able to talk about it then, but why can't I talk about it now? We have not resolved that problem. The people who used to rule us, the people who used to oppress us in your time, Brother Thompson, they still here. They only put them puppet in the house, them black people like me and you, they only put them there to represent them. The people in there don't represent us. They represent the people who used to be in there, and they still carrying on the same ideas and philosophy and carrying this country in a direction that we would have been heading in if we were still being led by the white man. Notice, they don't pass no law for us. They don't pass no law in the house for us but to tax us. Nothing for our benefit but to tax us.
Okay.
Nothing but the Thompson. So all I'm saying about the Thompson is like, I would appreciate it one of these days, Brother Thompson. I would love to hear you talk about how the Bahamas was prior to majority rule, and I want you to be honest about it and tell us exactly how you felt. We want to hear the anger you felt. We want to hear the injustice that you felt. We want to hear what you felt should have been done, and we want to know if what you felt should have been done prior to independence and prior to majority rule, if it's been done afterwards. We want a deeper conversation in this country, but it comes to we can't be running around here talking about God give us this country when God give us Africa. Africa is ours. Africa is ours, but Thompson, we are indigenous. But Thompson, do you realize that Africa is not only a name of a place, but it is actually your race? Like how when you see Chinese and Asian people, you call them Asian because they are Asian. Right? When you see us, me and you, we are African. Like that's our race. Like the white man is the Caucasian. Like our lion. Like how a lion is a breed of a cat. African is a breed of a human being. And whenever we deny our Africanness, Brother Thompson, we are nobody. Because whenever I say I am a Bahamian, that means that I accept that I am nothing but a slave. I am nothing as a Bahamian.
So are you saying, caller, that the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, that has no value to you?
The Constitution of the Bahamas, Brother Thompson, we got to be real with it. You know what I mean? The Constitution of the Bahamas is similar to the Constitution of Jamaica. And why is that? Because it is a colonial document. It is a
so
colonial
are you saying
document.
That the people who were there
did not write it?
No. Let's listen to what I'm saying. I hear that. I've heard that from some other people too. Are you saying that the mothers and fathers of this country, when we had the coming into a new nation,
yes,
where there were papers put out, the white paper, the green paper for Constitution, where there was discussion among the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, well, it was then a colony, and the people made a determination to go in a certain direction. Are you saying that the input from all of these people who were involved was nothing? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying, Brother Thompson, I mean, have you even seen? There's a clip because people love to mention that statement that Lyndon Pinland made when he said something about if you're not willing to fight for the country.
Well, this is why I don't want to really get into that because I've heard. But caller, listen, just listen to what I'm saying. So Lyndon said a number of things, but it seems as if when people quote the father of the nation, this seems to be the only thing that they quote him to say. He said a number of other things.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I don't want to hold on. I don't want to get into that particular view that he had. That is his personal view.
Yes, sir.
And he is entitled to that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I won't go any further with that. Yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever seen the video when he was talking about what type of independence we want? You saw that video? You saw that clip? When he said that he don't want like a true independence, he just want like some type of internal self-governance. Have you ever seen that?
No. I don't know anything about that.
You've never seen that one before?
No, I haven't seen anything.
But that is something that is something. That's a clip of the Lyndon Pinland.
Yeah, but listen now. Let me say this because I have some other callers on the line. The point is, the Lyndon Oscar Pinland had his personal views, and I'm not going to debunk what he said because he's entitled to his view. The Constitution gives people the right to express their views. Not all views expressed by leaders are constitutionally sound. We have a living constitution to govern our country. That is what we ought to be concentrating on today.
And who was our ultimate head of state, Brother Thompson?
What do you mean, who's the ultimate head of state?
Who's the head of state of the Bahamas? Who's the head of state?
Do you know the Constitution? Have you read the Constitution? Have you studied the Constitution?
I know who the head of state is, Brother Thompson. Who's the head of state? I want you say it.
No, you said no. If you know it, then you tell the Bahamian people who's the head of state.
The head of state right now is King Charles. That's who the head of our state is. It used to be Queen Elizabeth, but now the head of state of the Bahamas is King Charles. Okay. Our leaders swear to King Charles. Brave Davis swears to King Charles. The magistrate people them swear to King Charles. The police officers swear to King Charles.
So you
That's
have a
why I had to
problem
say
with
this.
that? Do you have a
I
problem
need
with
that.
that?
If I have a problem with that?
Yeah.
I mean, but Brother Thompson, if you are supposed to be a country who's supposed to be becoming independent from a nation, you can keep the nation head of state as your head of state when you become independent, and when you're supposed to be sovereign, you still got the same person as the head of state. You think that makes sense?
Well, this is why. Anyhow, that's your view, and I appreciate that. No. You express a view.
But Thompson, I just ask you if it makes sense.
No, I am saying to you, you express a view, and I'm giving you the opportunity. No, you asked me a question. Yes, you can answer that question yourself if it makes sense to you.
I told you already. It don't make sense, Brother Thompson.
Okay, but that's fine. No, if it doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. I can understand that. But the point is, for the purpose of this discussion, we have a living constitution today. That is what we have to go by in building the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now, the Bahamian people have an opportunity to change it. They can change it at any time.
Okay, Brother Thompson, I agree with you. Brother Thompson, can you please, one of these days, Brother Thompson, please, I mean, just for the sake of our edification, one of these days, seeing that you lived it, can you tell us what the atmosphere in the Bahamas was prior before independence or on majority rule one of these days? One of these days, can you do a show on that?
I don't think I would have a difficulty with it.
I'll appreciate that, Brother Thompson.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I would love to hear exactly how you felt as a boy not being able to do certain things in the country.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right, sir.
Yes, sir. Because like I said before, I still would love to know. Because maybe by you telling that story, we could find out how it is that our biggest problem as black people, right? Like
now, say hold on. Stop right there.
People, you know what I mean?
Stop right there. Okay, but thank you for your contribution.
Yes, sir. You have a good day, brother.
Okay. Anyhow, I'll deal with that later. We have another caller, Mr. Producer. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Professor, just let me quickly say to the gentleman that we just hung up from.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, he seems to have an agenda.
I saw that.
And every time he calls, it's really on behalf of the Haitian people.
Okay.
But I will say this to him. We, the Bahamians, this is our country.
Yes, it
we
is.
have a constitution that tells us it's our country.
Yes.
We don't want to hear nothing about we stole no land. No, we inherit our country.
That's what the Constitution
given
says.
to us by the Queen of England.
Yes.
All right?
That's
so
correct.
don't talk to us about no Chinese this and Chinese the next thing. No, it was given to the Bahamian people. And anybody outside who is not a Bahamian, they need to go home.
That's correct.
And every time he called, oh, the black people, no, Africa is not our home. We have never been to Africa. We don't have nothing to do with Africa.
Our
we
ancestors,
were born in the Bahamas.
Ancestors,
this is our country.
This is where our people came, right from here. Yes.
We don't want to hear nothing about Africa and China. Let the Chinese go home. Let the Haitians go home. Let the Jamaicans go home. Let them all go home because this is not their country. And if he don't like it, he could go
to Africa himself.
Yes. he could just head on over to Africa if he wished. But every time he calls, like we the Bahamian people are doing something wrong.
Yes.
This is our country.
Yeah, that's what the Constitution
we only
says.
have one country.
Yes.
But he have another agenda. I don't know if he's Haitian, he's part Haitian or whatever he might be.
Yes.
But this is the Bahamas and he needs to stop doing that.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate your contribution. Thank you very much. And see, another thing is racial tension. Oh, we have another call on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Professor.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Yeah, well, in regards to the caller, who keep trying to get us back to Africa, I think he has to appreciate that time is set in stone. Nothing we could do about that.
There's nothing we could do
We're
about
now
that.
in the Bahamas.
Yes.
And I'm talking about Bahamians. I'm not talking about the Haitians and Jamaicans and all the Trinidadians and all the people.
Yes.
We are Bahamians in the Bahamas.
Yes.
As Africa is not one country.
No, it isn't.
Africa is a peninsula, they call it?
Continent.
A continent, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yes.
that's right. Yeah.
That
Has different nations.
many nations in it.
Many nations. Yes, you're right. You're quite right.
And
Many
every
nations.
black nation in Africa, and I don't think any African, any one of those states in Africa is 100% black. They have
No, they're
various, people in it,
Various shades. Yes, that's
and
correct.
they are fighting for their. Every country in Africa is fighting for their survival, just like the Bahamas.
Yes.
You heard about the war in Uganda, I think it is.
Rwanda.
Yeah, where they attack and kill
Of course.
each other. I
Yes.
mean, the Tutsi killed the Butsi. I don't know the correct name.
But you got Sudan too. They are torn apart.
Exactly.
Two leaders fighting, and they've having thousands of people that have been dead.
Exactly. But he sounded like, oh, let's pick up all the black people and let's go live with our brothers. And what he failed to realize is that Africans are asking us not to come.
Yes.
Because things are tough on them. And when
Very
we
tough.
come, we tend to dominate because, just like how we are impressed with the curly haired or the curly haired people from around the world. When they come here, they get a jump on us because, the light skin and
They're
the
looking
curly
at
hair type deal.
Yes.
Because we're still immature and I think lack sophistication to see past
Yes,
that.
ma'am. Yes, sir.
And that's what we're dealing with. And the Africans over there are doing the same thing. And a lot of Americans who went over there, like in his spirit of let's go back home, man, they running up there like crazy because they don't feel welcome. Yeah. And he got to appreciate that. We are different people, and he got to stop being so racist because that's what he is, He's a racist. He's a separatist. He would be perfect back in those days, but he got to step up. We got to move forward. And one thing I want to say in regards to him, he's thinking that we could just, around the campfire and be black people and all that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. He got to realize that one of the biggest, not one of the biggest, the biggest, what do you call it, race of people in the world are Asians.
Okay.
And if he take the time, people like to say all Chinese look alike and all that stuff. Okay. But he got to realize there's China, there's Japan, there even some of the Russians look Chinese. Yes. And even way down in South Africa, they look kind of Chinese. The world is so diverse.
Diverse now, yes.
You know what I mean? Here we are trying to cultivate a little portion of this country so that we can raise up our head and say, I am from the Bahamas with pride.
The Commonwealth.
This man's trying to dilute and saturate that. That's why I take offense at him.
No, I agree with you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I believe we have another call on the line. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please. Caller, are you there? Caller, you can come in. You're live on air. Go ahead, please. Mr. Luce, I don't know if the call is still there. Caller, you still there?
Hey, hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, good afternoon, Professor. What do we say? The Bible and the Constitution. Let's settle this one right now. Professor, you got your pen?
Yeah, go
Write
ahead.
down Luke chapter 21. Write that down, Luke chapter 21. And anybody want to come, I'm going to say this before I go. Don't go try to beat the Jamaican singing reggae. And don't come to the Bahamian, but the Constitution. Because we done got this on lock.
Okay.
Luke chapter 21. And anyone, we can't say it. Our mother couldn't say it. And our young generation was scared to say it. Ask anyone who wants to say who we are, why we don't celebrate Guy Fawkes. Anyone who know who we really are, go and ask your leaders why we don't celebrate Guy Fawkes. And I got to end on that. We celebrate all kind of things. We celebrate Halloween. Ask anyone you go to, ask them why we don't celebrate Guy Fawkes. And I ain't bringing it up. I say if you challenge me, I got to say it. Y'all have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you, caller, for your contribution. Let's hope we have another call on the line. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Professor.
Yes, how are you?
I am good. Calling from Grand Bahama. This is Latanya Strawn.
Latanya Strawn, yes, ma'am.
Listen, Professor, I am very, very concerned. For the last, I can say 6 to 8 months, I've been in conversations with persons here in Grand Bahama where their parents apparently are from the diaspora, the people down south.
Okay.
They would have been born here.
Right now, who would have been
Professor?
born? Hold on, slow down a bit, slow down. Who would have been born here? The parents of these particular
The
personalities?
children, the parents are illegal. They came
Okay.
here,
All right.
however,
Okay.
when I say illegal, they're not saying that their parents are straight. They're saying that they're actually getting their papers because they born here.
Oh, that's how it go. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
deal with
their
that.
parents apparently came here illegal, had them. You know how it is. Too.
Yes, ma'am.
My concern is this: it's at a rapid pace. I'm now coming into conversations with persons who's now being considered for Bahamian citizenship, and their parents aren't citizens, but they're becoming citizens at a rapid pace. I am very concerned about this. I'm trying to understand what is it the Bahamas government, and I know they all say that they're creating a voting bloc. But man, this thing got to be bigger than that. I'm talking about front, left, right, and center. Before time, you would say that these persons who's now getting citizenship, who has to be sworn in or whatever, we would say that they took like maybe 2 to 6 years before they gave them citizenship. I'm talking about this. The moment these people graduate, they fly into Nassau to go get a passport.
Okay.
This thing is so rapid. I'm trying to understand what is it the Bahamas government is doing to us. It's the process isn't even tedious anymore. It's like we're just giving out citizenship like
candy.
popcorn and candy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. No, it is. I'm delighted that you called in and gave your concern. I'd like you to leave your name and number with the producer, if you don't mind.
I can hardly hear you, Professor.
No.
I can hardly hear you.
Mr. Producer's call is saying she can't hear me. I'd like you to leave your name and number with the producer, that you're from Freeport.
Okay, no problem.
And I'd like to talk with you further off air on this. No, it is a very serious problem, and I'm delighted that you called in. And I hope the other people in Grand Bahama recognize that we have a major national problem. In fact, I'm involved in a major national fight on citizenship in this country. And we have taken the appropriate action that we believe is essential and necessary to the salvation of this country. There are some other things that we need to do. And I'm going to bring that to the attention of the Bahamian people, because we have to save this country from this crushing burden that is being put on the Bahamian people. And I'm delighted that you're aware of that. And we've got to get the people in Grand Bahama to be well organized. See what I keep saying to them? You must be constitutionally organized. You recognize that there is a problem. Where is the organized movement of Bahamians to deal with this major national problem? It takes the collective will. Article 24.1. That is one article you let me keep repeating over and over and over again, because it's the only spot in your constitution which gives the people the power to act in their own best interest. Don't leave it up to some other people to do it for you, because they ain't gonna never get done. 51 years, almost 52 years has passed, and it ain't happened yet. So we have to do something about it.
I agree. I've always said that, I've always been on this battlefield fighting that we as Bahamians would understand and recognize what's happening.
It's a
and
serious
educating
problem.
the Bahamian people.
Yes.
But the thing about it is, it seems as though these governments know that Bahamians are lackadaisical.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's impossible for them to be getting away with such I'm talking about rapidly. They're distributing these citizenship. They ain't like when they used to wait. There ain't no waiting process anymore.
Just like you come today, you get it this afternoon.
You get it right away.
Right away. Oh, even that. That's worse.
What's the sense of urgency? What? Why are we so urgent to give out our citizenship? I mean, on a scale of, geez, it's like second to none.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
so
it's a valid point.
I'm going to keep in touch with you.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I'll speak with your producer so I can leave
Mr.
my
Producer,
information.
take her name and number and put down she's from Grand Bahama, because I want to talk with her. And I got to say to the people of Grand Bahama, you heard what the lady just said. And she's correct, because it's happening here on the island of New Providence. It has been reported to me that that is what is happening. And we have some evidence, and I'm involved in a major national fight against those who are trying to sell us out Bahamians. But this isn't just for one particular personality alone. That's why I quote Article 24.1. Now, we need you to become defenders of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. Send me an email with your name and your contact, your address, your telephone numbers, your email numbers, and everything like that. Because Bahamians, we are in serious trouble. I've seen it and I know it. I have hardcore proof. Just you see what the lady said? She's correct. It's happening in Grand Bahama. It's happening in New Providence. It's happening in Abaco. It's happening all over this country. This mad rush to give out false papers purporting people to be citizens of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I mean, that's a serious thing, you know. That's treason. And you know the penalty for treason? You need to think about that. Because the very people you have chosen to run your national affairs are the very people who are doing it to us. And it's right out in the open. Bowl with it. So we can't just keep sitting on our seats and not doing anything. That means it's time that we organize ourselves. And if you don't know how to do that, you call this station, say, I want to speak to Professor Sidney Magadawa. Send me an email, sydneymthompson@hotmail.com. Because you are going to have to be organized Bahamians, highly organized, constitutionally. And we start with Article 24.1. Then we go to Article 2. Any law that is inconsistent with this Constitution shall prevail, and the other law, to the extent of its inconsistency, shall be null and void. It means nothing, Bahamians. Null and void means nothing. It has no value. It has no purpose. But anyhow, I got to stop right here because I hear the music. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island, a November to remember sale, starting at $150 per night, plus taxes and fees. For single or double occupancy, receive a fourth night free. With 3 paid nights, limited inventory available, and blackout date supply. Advance booking is required. We're offering free food and beverage credit up to $50 based on your length of stay. Redeemable at our Crusoe's restaurant and Splash Pool Bar. VAT and gratuity is not included. All guests of Comfort Suites enjoy complimentary use of Atlantis, including Aquaventure Water Park, daily complimentary full American buffet breakfast, free Wi-Fi, free parking, kids 11 and under stay free in the room with a parent, and eat free at Crusoe's restaurant with each paying adult. Call us today at 605-6300 or 363-3680 or WhatsApp us at 55-SUITE. That's 557-8483. Offer valid through November 18th, 2024. Comfort Suites Paradise Island, offering comforting days and sweet nights.
At Audio Plus, we carry a large selection of DJ and audio products like speakers, mixers, microphone, car audio players, and much more. You can also find a wide selection of musical instruments like marching drums, Junkanoo drums in a wide variety of colors, trumpets, clarinets, trombones, Yamaha keyboards, and Fender guitars at special low prices. Visit Audio Plus on Soldier Road, located in the Caries Plaza. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Phone number 394-6668. Audio Plus, your #1 music store.
Great news. Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
If your Black Friday looks like any other day, you're shopping in the wrong place. It's that time of the year, our annual 3 days of total blackout at Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center. Mark your calendars for November 28th, 29th, and 30th. Join us for the biggest, craziest Black Friday weekend sale you've ever seen. Get ready to snag thousands of items straight from Amazon, Home Depot, and Walmart, all sold at their original online prices. Don't believe us? Bring your cell phone and Google it. If Amazon's list price is $20, you pay $20. That's right, freight and duty included. Where? We'll be waiting for you on Mackey Street under the big red and white tent. Come for the deals, stay for the experience. Save like never before. Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center's 3 days of total blackout. Call us now at 698-0123 or WhatsApp 557-2522. See you there on November 28th, 29th, and 30th.
From
Don't
East
miss it.
Street to Blue Hill Road, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. Bahamians, there's a mad rush by certain personalities in the government of the Bahamas handing out scraps of paper and calling them citizenship papers, which are all fraudulent. Every last one is a fraud. We have to stop this foolishness from going on. It will destroy the Commonwealth of the Bahamas as we know it today. And let me say to that particular personality who was tending to be racial, we don't have that kind of problem in the Bahamas. We have problems, but we have been able to overcome that to a great degree January the 10th, 1967. And from that day up to now, we have had a peaceful existence in this country without any race riots, without any racial flare-ups, without any racial wars. We don't need that kind of nonsense and foolishness here. When the particular personality mentioned specifically a coloration, and I won't want to even get into that. But the thing is that we have to understand we have a constitution. And while it is good to look back at history, I don't have a problem with that, but that's not the main focus. You cannot solve your national problems by just looking at into the past and talking about the past. You have to deal with what you have now. What is in place now to help you to move forward, not backward? Because a lot of you out there want to have a safe nation where you can live, you can have your children, you can have your family living in peace and not at war. Sudan is ripped apart by two fellas fighting. And a lot of lives have been lost, Bahamians. We cannot afford that in this country. The other day I heard that there was a particular person that was shot, riddled with many bullets, right in front of the police station. I think it was at Fort Charlotte, near Long Wharf, or out there on Long Wharf Beach. And I don't know whether they were able to capture the person who riddled this person down. But the gun seems to be a tool that most people are using to commit murders. And then, of course, you got some who are using knives. That's not the regular thing, but people will use it if they have to. We have too many problems, Bahamians. We have to concentrate on what is happening here. We cannot take on the problems of Haiti. We cannot take on the problems of other nations out there. They have to handle that themselves. We have to look at what's happening here in the Bahamas, and our leaders need to do that as well. We have to help them to do it. And if they don't want to do it, it's not a problem. We will have to remove them deal with them decisively, punish them, and have, like the lady said, and her contribution was very good, who are going to govern according to Constitution. Now, how you know whether they're going to govern according to Constitution? There's a simple test, Bahamians, that you can do. Because you have seen for the last 51 years plus, not any particular grouping of persons or even individuals, perhaps maybe with the exception of a few exceptions, far few and in between, where the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas was ever mentioned in their platform. It's not there. So we have to know who we're dealing with, Bahamians. Are they genuine Bahamians? There's a problem right now in our country with a particular personality who is not a Bahamian citizen. Do you know that, Bahamians? And yet here there are people having these big celebrations. Say they're welcoming a particular personality to the country. Don't know that the person is not a Bahamian citizen. How can we be so stupid? How can we be so foolish? This person is a stranger, a foreigner, an alien, an outsider, purporting to be what that particular person is not. That's because we don't check the Constitution. Even you got the government making mistakes, serious flaws, serious errors. And then it happens at that level to get national and go international and go all over the world. And we get a bad name because of the way we do things in this country. We're not doing things the way we ought to do because we're not following the Constitution. So I want you to become a defender of the Constitution. Are you prepared to live for your country? God's word says you to live by every word of God. Are you ready to live by every word of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas? Are you prepared to do that? Are you prepared to agree with the Constitution? Because the Constitution is always right. It is never, ever wrong. It cannot be wrong, Bahamian. Now, there are some people who may have a disagreement with it. That's fine. And they may think this, they may think that. And the Constitution is not like the other constitutions in them other places. That is not so. The way how it is set up and constructed, it is different from any other that is on the planet today. And see, we fail to give credit to our founding fathers for the work they did, talking about somebody wrote some things on one piece of paper, hand it to them, and say that's your Constitution. You see how careless we are? And I heard some people talking on another talk show, what people you consider them to be intelligent people, talking about we are a pimple on the back of the United States. You hear any crap like that? Or we are protectorate of the United States. What kind of nonsense is this? Oh, we only just 300,000 people. Our Constitution says we are sovereign, independent state. We are a nation. The United States of America is one nation. Just one. They got one seat in the UN. We have our seat in the UN. They're a nation. We're a nation. And people just talk a lot of foolishness. You undermine your own country, Bahamians. You don't do that. We're to stand tall and proud as citizens of this country and be prepared to defend it. That's why we need defenders of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Send me an email with your contacts on it. Your name, your address, telephone numbers, where you live, and so on like that. And I'm going to be in touch with you. Because we got plenty of work to do, Bahamians. Now, let me tell you this. I mentioned this before. Every single treaty, every single law that has been passed in the House of Assembly, went on to the Senate, went on to the Governor General to be signed. And that's in the Constitution. The Constitution says Her Majesty the King, the Queen. It didn't say nothing about no king. Now, you got one king in England. The Constitution has one article which says the executive authority of the Commonwealth of Bahamas is vested in who? Her Majesty the Queen. That's what your Constitution says. They ain't say nothing about no king. So we got to get this thing right, Bahamians. Now, they got one king over there in England. Yes. We have not made the necessary changes because all those articles that refer to Her Majesty the Queen, we have to correct them because there's no more queen. See, that's being responsible. That's what a responsible constitutional government will do because there are a number of articles that talk about Her Majesty the Queen, but we don't have no more queen. So what do? We have to make the appropriate changes. It's just that simple, Bahamians. We have been having leaders derelict in their responsibility. Then our people want to talk about what they have in England. Yes, the English did do their work, but we haven't done our work here. You still have Governor General. The Constitution says we have Governor General to represent who? Her Majesty the Queen. So there are some things that need to be corrected. And this is where leadership comes in, Bahamians. Your leaders have been negligent and irresponsible in not looking at these things and taking it seriously. They don't take the Constitution seriously. That's why we're in so much trouble. And then people signing all kind of crappy things. Like the CEDAW Convention and them other funny things they have out there. People just signing away the Bahamas to some other people. Then they come back and say, well, that's what you signed. And they ain't going to let you get off the hook with that. They throw it right up in your face. We have to know what we are doing, Bahamians. So when you go and you make choices, you have to know that you're making the right choice. And I'm going to be going in depth into all those articles that refer to governance in this country. So you will be able to make sound decisions and good judgments and the right decision. Who is the right person to represent you in your area? You need to communicate with your people. Because the way we have been going in the past, it ain't working. We have 51 years plus of that foolishness. It has never worked, Bahamian. You gave a particular party a massive landslide of seats. You gave another party a massive landslide of seats. Been doing that for 51 years. And you have not seen the light of day yet. So you think going around the mulberry bush you can solve your problems? No, it won't. You have to make sound decisions and good judgment. That's why you need the Holy Bible. That's why you need the Constitution. And many of you don't even know how the system's supposed to work. You sending people to the House of Assembly, they don't even know it either. So you jack up, they jack up, the whole country get jack up. Because they don't know what they are doing, Bahamians. And we didn't stand our ground to say, House of Assembly, senators, the government of the Bahamas, even to the Governor General. Because there are some things that the Constitution speaks about the Governor General, you know. I can dig deep into that. As it relates to citizenship, that's nothing to do with the Prime Minister. See, a lot of you don't know these things because you never, ever studied the Constitution. You're oblivious to it because you've been hearing all kinds of foolishness. And they think the country's supposed to be run by one man. That's not constitutional. It says the cabinet of the Bahamas has what? Overall direction and what? Overall control. Overall direction, overall control of the government. Didn't say the prime minister, you know. The prime minister is a member of the cabinet. He may be the head of the cabinet. Now, what happens in that inner circle? It says the cabinet. But if you have a strong-headed personality as the prime minister, that particular personality could railroad the others and say that this is my cabinet, I want it done this way or that way. So they think they're holding on for a little trinket. Let me just say this to you about the prime minister. When you look at your constitution, you will see the constitution allows the members of the House of Assembly. I don't quite remember the number of the article, but I'm going to look it up. And when I'm on the show again, well, my Constitution Day is next Monday. I can bring it up, give you the article. Choosing a person to sit in the office of prime minister. Two things are mentioned in the article. The leader of the party that commands the majority of the members of that house. That's step number one. So you have a party, you have some people who are members of that particular political party, and they have a commanding majority of the members of that house. It could be just one, just by one seat. That's a majority. Now, when you look at our system, how the thing has been running for 51 years, it has always been the leader of a particular political party who sits in the office of prime minister. And that particular personality is a member of the House. You have to be a member of the House to be in the office of prime minister. Fine. That's constitutional. And so those persons who are in that House will be the ones who will choose the particular personality who will be what? Leader of the government, not leader of the head of state. That's a whole different horse of a different color. The head of state represents the monarchy. We are a constitutional monarchy. And when you read our constitution, it says the executive authority of the Bahamas is vested in Her Majesty the Queen. That's how it's put there, Bahamians. You can't just change that. Say, I can change that tomorrow. Don't go that way. You got to have a referendum to change that. That's the way it is. But like I said, we don't have any more queen. The queen exists no longer. So that kind of puts a vacuum in there. Now, the second part. If there's no leader of a particular political party who doesn't command the majority of members that have, there's only one other option. The person who is a member of that house, I want you to listen to this carefully. The person who is a member of that house that commands the majority of the members of that house. Now, that particular person doesn't have to be no party leader, but there are enough people who command the majority of the seats in that particular house that agrees to have a particular personality who is a member of that house to be recommended to the Governor General to be Prime Minister. Those are your two options. So when you go and you participate in the parliamentary democracy in your particular constituency, you're not voting for Prime Minister. This ain't like how they do in the United States, you know, where they go out and say they're voting for the president. You don't vote for no prime minister. See, that's what a lot of you get fooled. You get bamboozled. You be misled and deceived. You are responsible for choosing a parliamentary representative. In too many cases, you've got party representatives, which you send to the House of Assembly. And they carry their party interests, not parliamentary interests. Big difference. And I think the Bahamian people have gotten all mixed up on this. It is quite possible for the constituents in a given constituency coming together to choose one of their own to send it out of assembly. There's nothing unconstitutional about that. That door is wide open. We just don't use it. We want gold, we got to dig deep into the ground, Bahamians, and we'll find the gold. There is one in that constituency, right where you are, who can become your next representative in the House of Assembly. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Now, the scripture says, when the righteous and the right. See, when you have a strong House of Assembly, you will have a strong government. When you have a strong House of Assembly, you will have a strong government, Bahamians. You have a weak, puny House of Assembly, then you have a weak, puny government. Jellyback people. They're looking for one position. Oh, I want to be chairman of this board or chairman of that board. Your job as a representative, take care of your people. That's what you're to do. You were sent there, Article 52.1, to perform a specific function on behalf of those constituents in that particular constituency. Now, here's where we run into problems. Some particular personalities may be chosen to be a member of the cabinet because only persons who are, one, members of the House of Assembly, and two, a few members in the Senate, I think a maximum might be 3, from the Senate, who can be members of the cabinet. Now, there's no limit on the number of persons that could be appointed to the cabinet. You have a minimum number, but you don't have a maximum number. I think it's about 7 or 8, somewhere around there. No less than 8 members. The Prime Minister would make, I think, 9, if I'm not mistaken. But the Prime Minister will recommend to the Governor General personalities he would want to be in his cabinet. Now, remember, before that happened, he had to be sworn in by the Chief Justice, appointed by the Governor General to be in the office of Prime Minister. So that has to happen first. Then he would recommend personalities who he will want in his cabinet, or she, if that's a she, in the office of Prime Minister. And sometimes, the way how things are going now, some funny things happen, and you ain't know whether that's he or she. Because you take a look, and they can confuse you. And then you say, oops, I thought something else. And when you look again, you see something different. So that's another problem that we have to look at. Who you're dealing with, the type personalities you have. All of these factors have to be considered, baby, because some strange things are happening in this place. So you have to know who it is you're dealing with. Weak belly jack representatives or party representatives who sit in parliamentary seats cannot form a strong government. You have a weak parliament and you have a weak government. That can't help us, Bahamians. We need persons who will stand up for what is right in the Constitution. And you have to tell the person or the cabinet, whoever it may be, that this is wrong. You don't want to go around with things that are wrong, Bahamians. You can't afford that. It makes no sense. And some of you would sit right there and let the man throw all kind of crap on you. Because you want a position. I want to be chairman of that board. I want to be executive chairman of this or chairman of that. But Bahamians, it takes the House of Assembly members to curtail the personality in the office of Prime Minister. They're the ones who are responsible for making sure he walks a straight line, but they don't do it. I don't think it has ever been done. We have had some dictatorial tendencies in this country, very serious ones, to the point where the particular personality said, you'll have to violate the Constitution. And not a living soul stood up to defend the Constitution, right in the House of Assembly, where that crap was brought forth. See, these are the kind of things you have to watch out, Bahamians. We are in very serious trouble. Please support the show. Send me an email, sydneymthompson@hotmail.com. Let me make sure I get it right. Because we need you to support us because we have to get this work done, Bahamians. This is serious business. We have to know this Constitution. The Constitution is your salvation document, Bahamians. Without it, you ain't got no country. You don't have any right. You don't have any freedom. You know how many people are living and dying all over around the world? Ain't got one single thing that we have in our Constitution. They're struggling to get that. And we have plenty of it in our Constitution. Let's use it. Send me that email, sydneymthompson@hotmail.com. Tell me you want to be a sponsor to the show and a defender of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. I'll make sure you get straight. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. Well, I didn't have my guest coming in today, but you know I got to be prepared for anything. So please be safe and don't get into no trouble. Stay away from trouble now because the enemy is busy. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. Express yourself. Have a very pleasant afternoon.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
This is 99.